but it's an exceptional opportunity to see all around United Kingdom, friends of the fight, friends of Cuba, and especially we have tonight here people that fought very, very hard for them to be here, and we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all the work you have done. Mostly we are family here. This is the Cuban Embassy. Thanking you for all your work, effective work, which is important, no? And we are so grateful for that. This is just a little expression of our thankfulness. Thank you very much. The Cuban Embassy is open for you. You are always welcome. We will remember, and there are other battles to fight. Yes. It's not only this, and so we count on you. And thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed the night. There is still more to enjoy. Cheers.
Cheers.
I just want to say that René want to say something.
En un momento.
I forgot, boss.
You're asking to say something.
We have some.
One of the reasons we wanted to do this reception was because we wanted to pay tribute and thanks to a group of people who have I've become fairly close to, surprisingly enough, but it's because for 2.5 years now we have been struggling with our own government, with the now Prime Minister of our government, Theresa May, who was the Home Secretary for 2.5 years, who denied, first of all, mainly René, the right to come to Britain. And when he was first invited in 2004 for the International Commission of Inquiry, which we held in London, and I remember Adri and Olga and Ermita were here, they stopped him from coming, and it was a terrible, terrible time for us because, of course, René had only recently returned to Cuba and was due to be the main witness in that international inquiry. And it would have been wonderful at that time because it was a very important and impressive event with jurors from around the world and testimony from so many people who've been involved in the case. And I always remember when we did the concert at the Barbican on the Friday evening, we did a big, huge concert, and Irma spoke, and I remember her words, and I also remember her tears at the time. And she said how sad she was because at this time she was going to be here with her father. And just at the last moment, just days before that, the British government took the cruel decision to deny René the visa to come to this country. And we as an organisation took the decision to challenge that, which was the right thing to do because it was another injustice. Perhaps Britain and all our trains wasn't the first place particularly you wanted to come to, but for us it was another injustice in this ongoing case, and we were very fortunate because we have a small contact with Michael Mansfield, and we contacted Michael Mansfield, who's a very eminent barrister here in the UK, and he immediately found us some of the best barristers, I believe, we have here, and they're here tonight, Mark MacDonald and Shivani Jagaraja, who immediately took up the case, and alongside their colleagues, Stephen Knight from Mansfield Chambers, and also Mohamed Elmaaz, and many others who worked with them. They worked tirelessly, and I understand it from Mohamed's notes that we had the case heard over 2.5 years by 11 different hearings. Judges in a number of different hearings. So we ended up inviting René 3 different times. The first time, the second time he was invited by 28 members of Parliament, which was the strategy that the lawyers decided would be the next best strategy. Again, we lost when we wanted to invite you in September of that year. But in November of 2015, we got the breakthrough victory, which we celebrated with you in Havana, as when we received it, and we had a meal at El Ajibe, where we had the information that you would be able to come to Britain. But even then, when we arranged the parliamentary meetings and this programme, the British government still fought to stop you from getting the visas in time for the parliamentary meetings. And in fact, they tried right up until the last minute to stop you from coming. And it was only through the interventions of Mark and Shivani and their team that we managed to get the visas on the Tuesday, got the flights on the Wednesday, and you flew here on the Thursday. So it was a very rushed thing. But we are incredibly grateful to all of you, not least because you all work for nothing.
I said all I wanted is a cigar.
Well, your wish is constant. But I understand from the lawyers, the case is more important than just a visa. It has constitutional relevance here. But I would like to thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure you will be thanked tremendously here. But if one of you wanted to say just a few words, we would be very pleased to hear from you. Shivani.